What's up, guys? I want to show you guys why I chose this bike for my own bike. 2008 CBR 1000. First of all, look at it. Look at it. It's beautiful. It was custom painted white. I love white bikes. I really do. Man, I love this bike. Let me button up my jacket and then we'll get into it. So I remember the first time I rode one of these bikes, and I was doing track days, and I was riding a lot of sport bikes, and I was really getting into the scene and stuff like that. And then I hopped on a 08 or 09 CBR 1000 RR, or as the everyone else in the world I think calls it a Fireblade. That sounds cool too, but we're Americans, we call it a CBR. So I remember so at the time I had I think I either had a 2008 GSXR 1000, great bike, or I also had my track bike, which is a 2007 GSXR 600. I jumped on one of these. It was my buddy's. He picked it up. It was crazy. He picked it up brand new in 2009 at a dealership for 7,500 bucks. I'll never forget those numbers. I'll be like an old man. I'll be like, yeah, 7,500 bucks, CBR 1000. What are you talking about, old man? Because it was crazy cheap. It was like half off of what it normally should be. Honda made too many of these, and in 09 they were just flooded with the market, and they had to start dumping them. So some dealerships were just blowing them out. But I remember hopping on one of these bikes, and I thought, oh my gosh. One, this has way more power than my Suzuki, my 600, but I was like, this thing makes my GSXR feel like a big, fat, heavy pig. I remember riding this bike and I was like, this bike makes me feel like a better rider. Much better than the previous generation CBR 1000s did. It was just something about it. The thing was so nimble. Riding wheelies was great. Hitting the corners was great. This bike just wanted to lay down and make you drag me like a beast. And I fell in love, and I was like, you know, one of these days I'm gonna grab one of these. I'll pick one up for myself. It'll be my bike that I ride on the street. I just want to find something cool and unique looking. And then this one came up, and it was custom white, and I was like, oh, I love that white. Now it's aftermarket bodywork, and the bike, that means the bike was probably down at one point in time. Although I couldn't see any scratches on any metal pieces. But if you look down in there, you can see like the carbon fiber work on the body. It might have just been a cheaper body kit or something. I don't care. I love it. I love the way it looks. But another reason is to get a bike like this is so much cheaper. It's so much cheaper, I mean, than to buy a newer one. I mean, I love the S1000 RR. I've had a couple of them. But you gotta pay to play, and they're not cheap. You can get into a bike like this for like a third of the cost. And hey, let's be honest, this bike will get you to Jesus just as fast as that S1000 RR will. This will wrap around a tree just as good as the S1000 will. They're all gonna get you killed, and they're all gonna get you killed fast. So now you're just kind of splitting hairs. And when it comes to the track, I've beat people who are riding this thing, you know, CBRs, Ducatis, you know, 1298s, all that stuff. I've beat those guys on my Suzuki. I've also been beat on a KTM 390 on the track. So it's all relative. But yeah, when you're talking about the best riders versus the best riders, you know what I mean? Yeah, newer's better. Not by that much. But let's jump on the highway. And you guys remember the first time you rode a leader bike? And you felt that pull? Felt a little something like this? Yeah! chasing that feeling for the rest of your life. This is why sport bikes, super sports, have ruined cars for me. They really have. If you guys saw that one test drive video of me driving a Von Guten 2016, 2015 Mustang, it was like, I think 575 horsepower supercharged. It was nothing. It was nothing the way a bike will pull on the highway in 6th gear. That's 6th gear, I'm not even trying. I could drop down to 2nd if I wanted to. I love these bikes. I need to check the sprockets on this thing. Just so I know what the ratio is. Nobody needs a Super Sport 1000 on the road. Nah, but everybody wants one. Like I said before, all these bikes will get you to Jesus real fast. And what I mean by that is, they will all kill you. Who are we kidding? That's what this bike is for. This bike was made for one purpose in life: destroy the rider. This bike doesn't need you. It wants to, this bike's a bucking Bronco. It wants to kick you off, do its own thing. It wants to ride down the road, dragging mirrors, you know what I mean? The only thing holding this bike back is you. You gotta remember that. Bikes like this take a lot of self-control, and that's why a lot of people kill themselves or get really high speeding tickets. Because when you can go to like 0, when you can go from like 60 to 160 in a couple seconds, 7, I don't know, that fast, hey, why not? You find reasons to do it all the time. But on the street, it's not a good idea. Great idea to do it on the track, though. And let me tell you why it's a bad idea. You see that guy right there? We'll call him Joe Smo. Hey, Joe Smo, with your glasses. I wear glasses too. Okay, you see that guy right there? He's expecting everyone to be driving somewhere within the speed limit. He's driving 60 miles an hour. He's expecting everyone's going to be going 60, 55, 65. That's why when he looks to see his mirror, when he looks in his mirror and sees, oh, nobody's near me, assuming people are going something close to the speed limit, he's going to take a couple seconds and then slowly merge into his lane. Now, if you're going 180 miles an hour and he wasn't expecting it, now you just shook up his whole world, and now he's turning into his lane, which you're like, what's he doing? He's turning into another lane 5 seconds after he looked, and you're already right there, bam. You just met your savior. That's why it's not safe to be speeding like that on the highway. With that in mind. There we go. Just keeping to the speed limit over here. Just minding my own business. beautiful bike. These things have a electronic steering dampener underneath the tank. It's nice and hidden. Guys, if I try to like pop a wheelie or something like that, I haven't ridden this bike in a long, I haven't ridden one of these bikes in a long time. This is my first time riding this specific bike. Don't like make fun of me. Don't be like, oh, this guy sucks. He can't even ride a wheelie on his own bike. I'm a little rusty. Get off my back. It started off real cold this morning, and now it's nice and slightly cold. Still cold. Oh, what gear was I in? What? I was in like third. Come on, guys. I thought I was in first. I was in like. I was in fourth. What? I was in fifth gear. What was I doing? I thought I was in first gear. First of all, that shows how much power this bike has. I can roll off in fifth gear without even like clutching it. See that stuff? That stuff will kill you. That's bad stuff, guys. Aha! It's too cold to do wheelies, but it's not too cold to do a little burnout. Well, it's a combination of cold and there's a lot of salt. A lot of salt in the street. This bike's gonna be all rusted by the time we get home. It makes for a fun trip though. Alright guys, well that's why I chose this bike. I love it. You'll probably see me do a lot of more videos about it. It's a fun bike. It's my bike, it's my bike. I'll sell it in like a week, who knows. Alright guys, remember, it's not what you're riding, but where you're going. See you guys later. Subscribe.